Welcome everybody to the Manchester is Blue show. The sun is shining. I need to do something about my old window here because I didn't realise at this time of day it'd be as bright as it is. How are you two guys doing? You all right?
Doing good. Coping.
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Good man. We've just heard the extremely sad news about the passing of Pep's mum due to coronavirus. So from everyone at Manchester is Blue and all the followers and all the people that assist the page and help out where they can, then obviously we're sending our best wishes to Pep and everyone else concerned. It must be an absolutely terrible thing when I don't know if Pep's actually based in the UK at the minute or he's gone back over to Catalonia or not. But it must be an absolutely dreadful time for him if he is based in the UK. And I suppose even if he's not, he won't be able to go and see her, will he? Or be a part of the funeral or anything like that. So, yeah, absolute best wishes going out to Catalonia at this point. So from a news point of view, lads, we've obviously today's Monday. We've seen a few snippets of things coming in. Has anything caught your eye in the last couple of hours, last day?
Unfortunately, we have to talk about Walker. That's the big thing coming out of here, and I'm sure I'm not the only City fan who is thoroughly disappointed in this, and I think he is as well. But what a silly thing to do, and my fear is he's not just brought himself into disrepute. At the end of the day, he's brought Manchester City Football Club into disrepute as well, and we have enough going on right now with UEFA and this whole thing with the Nightingale Hospital and all those things in the news. We don't need something like this compounding it as well. And silly boy.
It's always a bit bittersweet for me when a footballer comes out and apologises for their actions and make a public apology, but you're only apologising because you got caught, and I'm really disappointed with him. After the whole Jack Grealish thing last week, I looked at Jack Grealish and I thought to myself, you've done yourself no favours there whatsoever about getting signed by a big club, and then lo and behold, it happens to one of our best players.
Yeah,
I can't describe how silly I think he's been for doing that. Not just the whole what went on in the party and what goes about it, but breaking the curfew when you're not supposed to do it. You're somebody who a lot of young players look up to on a daily basis. You've got to sell a lot of people, you sell a lot of shirts with your name on the back of it. You've got to be able to be whiter than white in situations like this, and he's just really let himself down. And I hope the club absolutely hammer him.
Yeah, I'm seeing a £240,000 fine right now, which I'm assuming is probably 2 weeks' wages for him. I don't honestly. I'd be doing more than that. I'd really send that message home. It's not like he can't afford it. So, is this a sackable offence by the club? That's what I'm very interested to find out over the next few weeks, because it's that serious. And as I say, when our club is in the headlines for all the wrong reasons already, do we really need this on top of it? He's really let the club down, in my opinion.
Are you happy if I read out the club statement?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Club statement read: Manchester City FC are aware of a story in a tabloid newspaper regarding the private life of Kyle Walker in relation to a breach of the UK lockdown and social distancing rules. Footballers are a global role model, and our staff and players have been working to support the incredible effort of the NHS and other key workers in fighting the effects of COVID-19 coronavirus in any way we can. Kyle's actions in this matter have directly contravened these efforts. We are disappointed to hear the allegations. Note Kyle's swift statement and apology, and will be conducting an internal disciplinary procedure in the coming days. He's always going to come out quickly and apologise, isn't he? Because he got caught.
Yeah.
How many players would have done the same thing but just not been caught? That makes me worry a little bit. We look on. I don't know if you saw, Dave. You probably see a similar thing over in America, but we look in some parks and beaches, and this weekend it was crowded, and it's just like, what are people doing?
Yeah, that's made the news over here as well. I mean, it's just it's crazy. I just don't understand. I don't know if they think that they are, because they're fit, healthy men that even if they get symptoms, that they're going to overcome them. That God, it just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Just stay indoors. Yeah, it's boring for everyone, but stay indoors. Make a podcast like we're doing. Entertain
Absolutely.
people.
Just want to entertain with your time. Well, I look at this. I go running. I go running quite a lot, and I really enjoy my runs. And the idea of going into a permanent lockdown because of some knobheads that think it's going to go and sit on a bit of grass in a park, it would really, really piss me off. Just stay at home. It's not. The longer you go out for, Kyle Walker and friends, the longer we're going to have to stay in isolation. And why isn't that getting known to people?
Yeah. Well, at the end of the day as well, doesn't that mean, Tom, too, that this 30% wage cut that they've got, the longer people don't adhere to this, then the longer that we don't get back to watching football again and they get their 30% wage cut back. So
yeah, I kind of wish that made a massive difference to their lives, but I don't think it will, unfortunately. But I read this morning that there's a good chance that it's not going to be a set 30%. It's going to be decided on a club by club basis. So they're going to decide between themselves what to cut and what to do from that, etc. Which I kind of understand. I don't have any particular issues with that. They've got to help out where possible. But I just want to see more from the likes of Kyle Walker. It's all well and good doing an Instagram post saying "stay at home, kids," blah blah blah, but then jumping in your Ferrari and going to your mate's house to meet a load of girls. Come on, mate, what are you playing at?
Well, Tom, you're just an average Joe like the vast majority of us, and as you said a few minutes ago, now you're on furlough for 3 months. What did you do? Yeah. You took out flyers, handing them out, to homes around the Manchester area, saying, "Hey, what help do you need?" Kyle, that would be a really good idea. Get in your Lamborghini or whatever you drive and
do some volunteer. Yeah, if you're that starved for something to do, which I'm sure is absolutely not, go and do something positive to the community. It took me. I found out going to furlough on Friday afternoon. On 2 hours later, I was in touch with one of the community support leaders from my local area, who put me in touch with, could basically split my village up into a zone. It's like 15,000 people, and split it up to zones. I was in touch with one of the volunteer leaders and picked up the flyers this morning, distributed 200 flyers. It's honestly, it can be done so easily if you really want to help, Kyle. Doing little things like that. Let's see what you want to do. If you're starved for something to do, pal, it's easy. Yeah. It's frustrating, isn't it, from a City player?
Yeah.
Really frustrating. But yeah, let's put it under the table. Let's see what his actions are now after this. That's important. We'll try and push that under the table because he has been a fantastic player for us.
One player who I'm glad is taking the isolation more seriously, John Stones. And I'm sure some of you two have seen my post on our private messages about how well he's doing it. I said, about a month ago now, he needs to just step away from football, get himself fit, get training, personal life, kept indoors, and he's doing that. Luckily, as horrible as it sounds, this isolation thing's done him a favour because I think he's working so hard. He's posting videos, he's training, I think he said, for about 4 to 5 hours a day, just doing constant training. He's apparently lost a lot of weight but put a lot of muscle on at the same time. He's just looks like he's really focusing on himself, and that's what Kyle Walker needs to be doing himself. He needs just to keep his fitness going up. If he needs to improve it. And I'm so glad the one person who I said needed it most is doing it, and he's doing really well in my eyes.
Good to see that, isn't it, as well. I saw Aguero doing his training regime, and for me, who does a lot of running, to see actually what the footballers do for like plyometrics and box jumps and that type of thing, it's great to see. I really enjoy watching. I really enjoy those types of things, and it's encouraging for the younger generation to go out in the garden and do something. And I keep seeing videos on Twitter, all my friends posting on Facebook of their kids are doing like training between the cones and stuff like that. I love that. I think that's great. That's brilliant. That keep yourself busy, keep yourself entertained, and get yourself doing something. Yeah, I love it. Absolutely love it. Have you seen any other news in the last couple of days? I keep seeing City getting linked with my love child Martinez again and again and again.
Yeah, and it can't be true, but I've read on a few sources now that this is pretty much a done deal. That City are willing to meet the asking price, which I think is 110 million. I don't know if that's euros or pounds, one or the other. but I'm kind of reading it's almost pretty much a done deal that City representatives have been out there and they sorted all this out. I don't believe that's true, simply because I think all it's going to take, as I've said before, is Barcelona or Real coming in, who are apparently after him as well. And of course, your head's going to be turned by that. I do not expect to see Martinez in a City shirt, unfortunately.
Not for 111 million euros.
I've seen done deals though that is linked to Barcelona. He's apparently agreed private negotiations, all salaries and stuff like that, all bonuses and everything, and accommodation. He's apparently all agreed that with Barcelona, and I've seen it. I think it was back a week ago when I mentioned it to you lads, and since then, probably I'd say roughly every day and a half, there's been different media sources all saying the same thing, word for word, not copied or anything like that, but on the same lines that he's agreed all personal terms.
Yeah,
with Barcelona. But again, I can't see him because City, he's only really had a season and a half where he's shown who he is and what he's capable of. City won't spend over 100 on him after a season and a half. We're not that type of club. We discussed it on the last podcast. We like to find the players that we can develop. Yes, he's only 21, 22, but not for 100 million.
Yeah, I can't see it, Dan. You're exactly right. I can't see him being in a City shirt. Unfortunately, I think we're going to do the same thing, and I think Dan mentioned it last week, that we do a good job of kind of sourcing these little rough diamonds, and paying 30-40 million instead, maybe going over to Brazil or somewhere in the Russian league or something. And I think that's going to be the same case again, that we're going to find some unpolished diamond, like in the mold of Aguero, who is going to come in the next 12 months.
I saw that Soyuncu is going to look at getting a contract extension at Leicester, which is a bit disappointing. I quite liked the games I saw him playing. But I'd be interested. There's loads of players that I keep thinking to myself, I'd love to see you under Pep for a year. What you'd be like as a player. And I think he's one that'd really do well. So I don't know what we're going to do from our defensive point of view, because at the minute it's all attacking talent that's coming in, and the odd midfielder. I saw we got linked with Fabian Ruiz again. That's the natural lad, isn't it, Ruiz?
Yeah, I read exactly the same thing. Apparently, they've dropped the asking price now to 53 million or something like that now. So that's definitely in Manchester City's budget, something like that. That's what they like to do. But again, do we need another midfielder? Do we need another one? I don't know.
No, you know my feeling. I think next season, I'm looking forward to Rodri's my one to watch next season. So I don't want anyone to come in and potentially take over another midfield slot.
Mm-hmm. Fabian, I think, is something we've been missing since we sold Yaya Toure, because he is exactly the same profile as Yaya Toure in terms of one end of the pitch to the other. Because obviously he loves his birthday cake, so we've got nothing to worry about on that side. But he can do the defending and he can do the attacking, and I don't really see any player in our team that is capable of doing that. We've got either one player two-sided to the attacking and two-sided to the defending. We've got no one in between, and Yaya Toure for me was the last midfielder City have had who did that sort of thing, and Fabian Ruiz would definitely do it for me, so it wouldn't surprise me if we go in for him. And he's Spanish, isn't he?
Yeah, he's Spanish. He's 24.
Yeah. He's young then.
Midfielder, yeah. Yeah, he's one I need to do a bit more YouTubing for, really, to see a bit more about him. I don't really know much of him as a player, to be honest. I keep hearing his name bounded around. Again, you kind of ask yourself the question, is he come to the end of his contract and his agent's trying to pep him up a bit? So actually, he's not. His contract expires in 2 years. He signed a 5-year deal with Napoli in 2018. So he's got another 3 years left on his contract, which is an interesting one. Been rumours of him going to Liverpool as well, which is never a good thing.
God. Ruin his career going there.
Well, it's funny you mention Yaya Toure, because Yaya Toure was 1.88 metres. What's that in feet? Why do they not put these things in feet? 1.88, and Ruiz is 1.89, so Ruiz is taller.
Jeez.
Massive.
That's... my gosh. Yeah, I thought Yaya was about 6'3".
Ruiz is 6'2". I'm 6'2". Oh, that's all right. I thought he was bigger than that. I thought, you know what? You see Yaya Toure playing on the pitch. He looks like a colossal of a man, doesn't he? But he's the same height as me, which makes me feel a bit better about myself.
So there, here you
Colossal.
go. Here's a little question for you. Who is the biggest fella that you've seen on a football pitch at Main Road or at Etihad?
Brighton was a big lad.
I know for me it was Ruud Gullit. He ran, and this was at Main Road. He and Philippe Albert for Newcastle. They ran out tunnel at Main Road. I'm like, bloody hell! Like Gullit in particular, that fella is a bloody unit, absolutely massive, and you could tell there wasn't an ounce of fat on him either. He was massive.
Ruud Gullit. You know what? Who did he play for at the time?
Chelsea.
Yeah, of course it was.
Big air boy.
Of course it was.
Yeah. Oh, and he was fantastic as well.
World-class footballer.
Gullit at Main Road. You know, yeah, he might have been in the twilight of his career, but he was still the best player on the pitch. And 99% sure we lost that game as well.
He's 6'2.5", 6'3".
Yeah, but I mean, he just built as well. You kind of, like Rodri, just an absolute unit.
That we had the shorter hair when he played for them against us.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I just need to find some pictures of him to try and remind myself.
Yeah. The biggest unit from Manchester City I've ever seen, definitely Andy Morrison.
Oh, yeah.
the rugby player's body playing football.
Jamie Pollock was a bit like that as well. Do you remember Jamie Pollock?
Yeah, well, I was at university in Middlesbrough, and he had a clothes store there, Jamie Pollock, on the high street in Borough. He did indeed. He used to be in there quite a bit. Mm-hmm.
Dan, I believe you've got a Who Am I for us.
I've got two for you if you want both of them.
Two for us. Oh, go on then.
Right.
Are you going to put these on the page as well?
I mean, it's up to you.
Yeah, go on. Let's have them, and if we can't get them, stick them on the page and see if anyone can help.
Right. This first player started his career off.
Can I make notes, teacher? Can I make notes?
You can make notes, but you can't copy. So no looking at Dave's notes.
Done.
Because I know he's been doing that for everyone else. No, he started off at Corinthians, then went on to CSKA Moscow, joined City, then Everton, Galatasaray.
Oh, yeah.
Internacional.
I know.
Atletico Mineiro. Al Shabab, great name. Jiangsu Suning. Back to Corinthians, and then Nagoya Grampus.
I know, and I've met him.
Right. That's either a look from Tom that he knows exactly who it is, and it's an awful one, or he actually hasn't a clue.
I know who this is.
Well, while you're thinking, Tom, maybe it's one of them where it'll probably snip to you when you're not thinking of it. The second player started off at Basel, however you not pronounce it.
Yeah.
Came to City.
Okay.
Went on to Sporting.
Lisbon.
Then, Sporting. Yeah. Oh,
I know.
There's two Sportings, aren't there?
I know who this is too. I'm pretty sure I know who this is too.
Bloody hell, Dave. Then went on to Malaga.
Can I have a guess at this one?
Yeah, sure.
Is it Gelson Fernandez?
Nope.
Oh, go on then.
Yeah, that's who I thought it was, so I don't know.
All right. Well, make it even tougher for you both then. So, Malaga,
Okay.
Levante, Lokomotiv Moscow, Al Jazeera, then Espanyol, and then Lazio.
Wow.
Bloody hell.
So he went from Basel to City.
I said Gelson Fernandez, didn't I?
Yeah.
We had another player similar to that.
Yeah, we did.
That.
Right, I'll go through them both again, just so you know. So this first one was Corinthians, CSKA Moscow, City, Everton, Galatasaray, Internacional, Atletico Mineiro, Al Shabab, Jiangsu Suning, Corinthians, Nagoya Grampus.
I want you to spell them names backwards. Just a quick question: is Corinthians Brazilian?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
So he's Brazilian, and he went to Moscow, which is standard for most Brazilians. So we got him from Moscow.
I know.
And
I tell you, he's one of them. Dave will agree with me if he's got the right person. He did say he got the right person on the last one. It's one of them where it will click to you like, oh god, that's so easy.
and how long was he at City for?
He was at City for about 3 years, and the Everton and Galatasaray were loans from City.
He was.
I'm going to kick myself for this.
Yeah. Can I say it?
The first one. Go on, Dave.
All right. No. It's definitely Joe.
Correct.
Oh. Joe. Oh. Yeah, of course it is.
God, we thought he was going to be an absolute world beater. Like, he was such a good pedigree.
There. That's really annoying.
He had it in his locker though, didn't he? He always, he had a good goal in him, but he just never really turned it on to the full max.
That's a really good one, that Dan.
I think what didn't help him at all, so I met him. He came out to Portland for the pre-season training. So that would have been 2010. And I think he'd been, have you got when he signed for City down there? Do you know what year it was?
No, I think it was 2008.
Yeah.
2009.
So I think he'd been in England a couple of years, and I was trying to chat with him, and I didn't expect him to have perfect English or whatever, but he didn't know a word. And I think that's a struggle for a lot of players who are coming from overseas who don't make some kind of effort to learn the language. You know, we hear Jesus now, and he's great at English. It's funny, Aguero actually knows a lot more English than he actually cottons on to. He's actually got pretty good English, and I think that's one of the reasons Joe struggled so much, because he had all the talent. He banged in something like 54 goals in 73 appearances for CSK Moscow. He did brilliantly. So he had all the attributes, and I just don't think it helped him at all that he didn't even try to learn the language at all. So 2 years in, and I'm trying to talk to him here, and hey, how you doing? And he just looked at me like, what language are you speaking? But training, and this is when Mancini was boss, and freaking hell, he was one of the better players that came out here, but never made it at City, that's for sure.
Right, come on, this is
the second one.
So go on, read it out again.
Started at Basel.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
What was his nationality?
I didn't write that down.
He wasn't from Basel, was he? Was he like
he started his career off as Basel with Basel. I don't think he was in a youth system.
Hang on. Find out where is Basel?
Switzerland.
Yeah, that's where I got Skeleton Fernandez from. It was definitely not him then, is it?
No, definitely not Gelson Fernandez. Then went to City, Sporting, Malaga, Levante, Lokomotiv Moscow, Al Jazeera, Espanyol, and then Lazio. Similar time at City as Joe, around the area.
He scored about 3 goals for us, right? Not many.
No, he scored a few. Okay. Not many, as in you're thinking, but
I think I know who this is, and again, it was someone who.
Is he a striker? He's a bit of a tank.
Yeah. Yes.
Go on, Dave.
I think you've got it now, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got it. Finish it off, Dave. Put it in the back of the net, mate.
This is Philippe Caicedo.
Yep, indeed.
Yeah. Again, he had little flashes of absolute brilliance for us.
No, I thought him alongside Bodjanov. You remember Bodjanov?
Yeah, I liked Bodjanov. Just injury prone.
I did. I thought those two when they signed for us, because it was around the same sort of time, end of the noughties. I thought those two were going to really kick it off and go, because like you said, they had it in the locker to do it. And it's just, we seem to have around that period of failed strikers at the moment, that time in the era, didn't we? We had quite a few, and just none of them really kicked on. But
do you know? Well done, Dan. They were really good ones. I enjoyed that.
A ton. Who was the when we really didn't have any money? Who Stuart Pearce bought that Italian striker for $2 million, and he got sent off. Yeah, he got sent off in his debut against Chelsea.
Who?
He was another one there.
Yeah, Corradi.
Oh yeah,
because that was when we had Samaras and Corradi up front.
Yeah, Pearce signed him for $2 million because we just didn't have any money, and that's the best we could get. And he came with quite a good pedigree from the Italian leagues, and came to us, just was completely fish out of water. Got sent off on his debut against Chelsea because he just couldn't. The pace of the game, and I think we got beaten 4-0, and he just lost it and got sent off. And then I think he stayed with us for like a year, 18 months, scored about 3 goals maybe, and went back to Italy and actually was a good striker in Italy again. But yeah, Corradi, Samaras, Dan's right. We went through a very, very long period of spending a lot of money on strikers, and I think really Tevez is the first striker who we bought in a long, long time who you knew this lad's going to score goals for us.
I've got one question for you. Would you say that Mario Balotelli was a failed striker at City?
I wouldn't, personally.
I wouldn't.
Because there's plenty out there. And I've always been with you two. I've always said of what he did for us, the goals he scored plenty of them. For the time he was with us, and the games he played, and the pedigree and the calibre in him, he didn't score as much goals as many people would thought of.
And did you know that his only assist for us was the QPR game?
Yeah.
God, I didn't know that.
His only assist for us was the QPR game, which is bonkers, isn't it, when you think about it?
Yeah. No, I've got lots of time for Mario Balotelli. Did he realise his potential? Really, at any club that he's been at? Probably not.
No.
But look at the managers who he's played under, and they all see something in him that he could have been an absolute world beater. And on his day, he had the odd game with us. The 6-1 game, which I know at some stage we're going to review, Balotelli was literally the best player on the planet that game. He was
should we do that on Thursday?
Sensational.
Should we do the review on Thursday for that game?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Can do, yeah. Waiting for that one.
Yes.
But certainly not a failed striker for me.
No.
Scored very, very important.
Oh, no. Maybe the word failed is probably a bit hasty there. Maybe underachieved is probably the best word.
That I would agree with Dan, yeah. Probably underachieved with us because just the perfect. He had everything in his locker for a striker.
Yeah. I still remember him for the fireworks. I was doing some work experience on the morning when that was all over the news, and I just remember because the day before he did a fireworks safety campaign, and then the day after let the fireworks off in his bathroom at home. It's just typical Mario Balotelli, wasn't it? Just couldn't write it. But just to finish off that who am I? He didn't score on his debut game, but do you remember the game that Philip Caicedo started his City career at? Came on in the 83rd minute.
I want to say like a derby match or something.
Was it right when we beat them 2-1?
2-1, 2008.
After 50 years or something. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Came on in the 83rd minute. What a debut that must have been.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I've got some highlights here from the 6-1 game. I'll send these to the chat later, lads, and we can have a good review of these.
Yep.
Good. Right. I think we're done, lads. I think we're wrapped up.
Yeah.
You happy with that?
Right. Oh yeah, absolutely. And I really think again that people will buy into this, Tom, just simply because this is just us having a chat, and it's something for people to do, and hopefully comment on. That's what I want to do with these things, is get people responding to what we're talking about and engaging and commenting, and and if we can get some of these people on, like Bill Barton, who I've mentioned before, who one of our top fans, who's always on there. and getting them as a guest on the show. I think there's plenty of our fans out there who've got very, very good things to say.
Absolutely. Well, I'll do some research, and yeah, we'll get some more fans on in the coming weeks. We'll sell it from there. We'll post this live to Facebook as well as YouTube and everywhere else we put it out to. And yeah, any if anyone got any comments on after watching this and thinks they'd like to see anything else from us three, please do comment and like the page where you can and share away.
And remember to subscribe.
And don't forget to subscribe. See you soon, guys.
All the best, boys.
Till we die.
Bye-bye.
Dee 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 dee.